Okay, great.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Okay, we are now set up with no countdown.
Okay,
all
Freddie,
right.
take it off.
So today we are here with Girlfriends, the band,
yeah, that's us. Yeah.
and we're in Branson, Missouri right now. How about y'all introduce yourself?
I'll start off. My name is Evander Gonzalez, and I play drums.
My name is Gavin Etz, and I'm the manager.
Very nice.
Milo, and I play the bass / maybe rhythm guitar coming up in the future. Yeah.
My name is Jacob, and I do vocals and guitar.
Awesome.
Nice.
So why don't you guys just start off, just describe kind of what your band is as you see it, what you like to play, what you do play.
A shit show. It's just for fun. I mean, we just did it. When was it? Like your guys' sophomore year, my junior year. We just played soccer together, and we were on the same bus together. We just kind of started off as friends. We started jamming out one day, and we're like, well, Branson doesn't. I mean, there's a lot of like shows on the strip and stuff. There's a music scene for like adults, but there's nothing for like teenagers to do here, you know. So like, let's just start something and let's try to play shows. And we've been doing it for 2 years now. So it's just, an experiment, I would say, just something fun to do.
Yeah, I'm only like accustomed to the Springfield music scene, so like, what is the Branson Street?
There isn't. It's just the. I mean,
There
the
is no
Presley. I mean, it's just for just old people stuff basically. Like, there's nothing for like the teenagers to do. Like, honestly, there isn't.
Occasionally get like a cover band from Springfield.
Yeah,
at
that
bars.
comes down.
Yeah,
like
like
at the paddle wheel, or
Like a
something.
Queen cover band or some shit.
Yeah, like or at the landing they'll have like the Journey tribute band or something like that. But nothing like, because I know there's a scene up in Springfield, but we're only 30 minutes out, and like it's not. We don't have anything. We literally don't have anything here. Like,
You guys have played Springfield, right?
yeah, we played in Springfield last April on Easter, and that was really fun. We opened up for Pink Mexico, this like punk
Very nice.
band from Brooklyn.
How does it compare to here? Or just
Way different.
It's definitely way different. Like the atmosphere was like, it was more like professional in a sense. I mean, everything was like mic'd up. Like every little mess up that you could hear, you would be able to hear live.
Yeah,
and we're used to like, I mean, we played like a house show like in March, and that was, it was it was personally my favorite show.
Yeah,
just
I
because
like house shows more just because, like, I just feel like it's more intimate with the crowd because, like, the crowd's just kind of, like, up in your face. You're not, like, above or, like, you know what I mean?
kind of allowed to mess up as well.
yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
because like first we don't have like all those like really fancy mics like you hook up to everything, so like you can kind of get by and stuff.
And what kind of music do you guys play? How'd you describe it?
I'm still trying to think.
No, I mean we like, I mean.
Well, because like on SoundCloud, you had like a lot of ukulele demos.
Yeah,
had, like,
ukulele
some
demos.
acoustic, electric, and some like instrumentals from Gavin. It seemed.
Yeah.
So I mean, we all
Well-
have different like tastes and stuff. We like to bridge together.
Yeah,
we
and
even talk
before we were called Pretty Ugly, and we had a guitarist, which recently moved to Oregon,
Yeah.
and then that's when we did the whole name switch and everything. So we actually had an EP that we recorded like professionally in the studio and put that on SoundCloud before
Yeah,
that.
it's pretty ugly.
As pretty
Pretty
ugly,
Ugly,
pretty
yeah.
ugly, yeah.
Mhm.
And we still play some of those songs live, like when we play and stuff, just because like they're fun to play and we enjoyed it a lot.
Nice.
But
I mean, going off of like the different inspirations, like what are your guys' inspiration? Like, what do you try to converge on stage? I guess?
we can start off. We're gonna go around this one.
I feel like some of my, like, the bands that I kind of, like, look up to is probably, I really like Fiddler and, like, the Frights. I like their sound. I feel like we kind of, like, get some of our sound from, like, bands like that. But I've been really into, like, surf rock recently, like Guantanamo Baywatch and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's an interesting mix of surf rock and DIY pop.
Yeah, I was about to say I heard some of that too. Some of your stuff, yeah.
That's what we like. You might like.
It's kind of like the surf punk. We just kind of mix. It's almost like we mixed all the genres together in some of our songs. Like they have the reverb and everything, but then some of them, like the vocals, you can actually like understand what we're saying.
Yeah.
Compared to like all the ones that just sound like they're recorded in a trash can or something.
Yeah, like a shoebox or something like that.
Yeah, but yeah, like he said, like surf punk is kind of like the inspiration that we try to bring towards it. Just super grungy, like a little bit of old like beach, like that beach like fast, but basically.
All DIY.
Yeah.
Yeah,
stuff,
DIY, like, yeah.
making our own merch and stuff like that.
Yeah, y'all's merch is like pretty cool too. I actually saw that.
Yeah, we were actually supposed to play a show like at Thanksgiving, like at the Island Ballroom, and then one of us came down with an illness, and we couldn't play that show. But we had like stayed like up like the night before, like building, like making all this merch. We went to like a thrift store and like got all this stuff and just got like little like iron-on stuff. And like some of the shirts have actually lasted. Like my Misty, I have like a Misty shirt, and I've washed it like 50 times, and the stuff is still on there. And most definitely, like we made like bras, like girlfriend bras,
I
and
saw
stuff like
that.
that. And like we did, and we were gonna like give it away because like most like we haven't like. The only time we've ever like made money was off like the Springfield show. We weren't even expecting, like we got like 100.
Yeah.
So each of us
That's
got
actually
something.
that's not bad though. That's
we're
actually
not
split it up
kidding.
with
We split it up with every, like
That
55
just bought
ways.
us Taco Bell.
Yeah, Taco Bell and gas. That's basically what we got. But
All you need.
no, definitely. But like my like inspiration, like I look up to Fiddler a lot. I just like what they write about. I mean, just like especially like the first couple albums, like going to parties, and, getting drunk and like liking girls. Like that's basically where we're at right now, and trying to like transition into like adulthood, like coming of age type stuff, because I feel like you can write about this stuff when you're young, but if you're like 30 years old still writing about like coming of age and like girls and like partying, like what are you doing? Like I feel like should okay, yeah, for sure. But and also I mean, something that I like a lot is like the Growlers. I mean, they started off just like with their mindset. They started off like very DIY. They built their own kind of like music festival. Just because nobody would book them. So like, well, if nobody's going to book us and our friends, that we're going to do our own thing and put our own money into it, and probably not going to break even for a couple of years. But they've been doing it for like 8 years now, and they play like they've had like big artists play for them. So I look up to them a lot. Just like the DIY aspect, along with like the sound. I like Watanabe Baywatch, Fiddler, The Frights, and I mean Junkie, which was like this band from like San Antonio, and they're like a 3-piece band that just just writing about. I just like to write about girls. That's pretty much it. Girls and smoking and drinking a little, and then trying to figure out what to do, because we're in a weird
Sad
age right
Girl
now.
has a really cool sound too. I really
Yeah,
like
Sad Girl.
that.
Sad Girl's amazing.
I was about to say, so do y'all have like any sort of like ambition to like get like a cult following or anything like that, or like a actual like get big, or like what do you have like that
Like,
sort of
that's-
need, or would you
like what are aspirations come from this type stuff?
like what sort of aspirations do you have?
For now, or do you want
Yeah.
to take it somewhere?
I mean, we would love to. I mean, ultimately anybody would love to like take it somewhere.
Yeah.
But like, given like certain circumstances, I mean, Jacob's gonna move to Oklahoma for college. I'm gonna go back to Columbia. He's gonna be in Springfield, and so we could still come down like on breaks and stuff. But like overall, like when I first started this band, I mean, like my inspiration was just like to write music, to play shows in front of our friends, and like throw parties. And I was like, because I mean, what else was there to do in Branson, Missouri besides I don't know. Maybe go to Vintage Pairs, maybe go to a kickback. That's pretty much.
Yeah.
There's never like live music there. I'm like,
And live music is fun.
no matter what, like it
yeah.
could be like the worst
I-
thing ever, but like as long as you have somebody playing, like that's what I respect. Like if you have if you're able to go up and perform or whatever, like I respect that, because like it takes a lot to like go up there, and especially if you write your own stuff. But like just to, I mean, it's cliche, just have fun and like make memories ultimately, and
Yeah.
go to parties and
I think that's a good place to
And-
start
yeah,
too. I
like-
think a lot of people have like a lot of ambitions to like get big, and then they sort of let themselves down if that doesn't happen.
Yeah,
I don't think it should start like that. It should
No,
just
yeah.
start with you liking it. Really.
No, yeah, most definitely, because I mean, I feel like I've accomplished everything that I've wanted like so far. I mean, I have like great
Yeah,
group of
we've
friends
done,
and
we've-
stuff.
We like did a bunch. Like we did not think we were gonna get this far
No.
at all.
Like,
Like,
we started like doing just covers, like 3 songs over and over again, and then as the better we got, we're like, well, let's just write our own stuff, and then our friends would let us play like some like our first show was like at our like Friendsgiving, and that one was pretty good. We got like good feedback and stuff, and then we got to play like Milo's like parents like Christmas party, and we got good feedback there from like the adults. We're like, okay, maybe we're onto something. Then finally one day like we got like a big like opportunity to play in Springfield. Through like Spring Good, and like we're like, this is pretty big, but we didn't have anything written. We were just known as like we just play like covers and stuff. We're like, well, if we're gonna play in Springfield, we can't be a cover band.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
So we had to write stuff for like a month and a half, and I mean, we played and we spoke with Johan, and like he said that he liked our style and stuff, and he's like, figure out a sound and record something, and then I was try booking you guys up, and then he tried getting us in the summer, but you guys were in California. Yeah, Milo was in California, so we couldn't do that because like, we're not just gonna like play without Milo, And then we're gonna do like the Thanksgiving show, and then we got sick, and now like the Corona stuff, like
Yeah,
we're not
it's
gonna
kinda-
have like I feel like
Happened
DIY
at a
like
bad
punk shows
time.
have to come up, you know, like basement type shows, like those
Yeah.
have to be on the rise.
Yeah, I mean, the Owl's on the verge of closing, but like Springfield's like a pretty punk town. So I feel like you guys have, I mean, it's specifically DIY punk. Like that
No,
is
yeah.
the scene. So
Yeah.
you guys definitely fit in.
No, I mean, yeah. I mean, I wish we would have. I mean, especially throughout high school, been more involved in that scene up there. Because I mean, I know there's like people. I mean, especially Springfield's like a big. It's like the third largest city in like Missouri. So definitely there's the college town too. So, and the Outland is there, and that's famous. But we never really got. I mean, we just stayed to like down here. We just did our own little thing, and
Yeah, like all of like kind of the opportunities that like came to us, like we didn't like expect them at all.
no,
Like,
we
it just,
never like went out like trying to like ask the
find
band like
places
to play like.
like
Mm.
people
Like
just
there's
Yeah,
Inspired
the
us.
Johan, like that one was like out of the blue, and it was only because Andalyn posted us on her story, and Johan follows her, and he was like, "Yo, like who are these kids?" And he's like, "Oh, like they're our friends, like they just play stuff." And like,
Who's Johan?
he's the promoter for the Outland Ballroom, and he has like Spring
Oh,
Good, and he
that's so
does
cool.
a lot of this.
Wow.
So he's like really cool and stuff. Like and he's trying to get us more often, but like we just, I mean, there's certain circumstances.
can't
that we
even-
couldn't- you know, and especially right now. I mean, the summer before like the rest of us go to college. I mean, you know, we're just gonna do our own thing. No, but I mean, it was definitely that's something. I mean, I kind of regret it's like not being more involved up there because I know they have
Mhm.
like shows up there and like I'm with some
Oh, yeah.
other bands. I mean. When I go, I mean, I've gone up there to go see Broncho and stuff, and sometimes they have like local bands
Yeah.
go up there. I mean, we were gonna play with kudzu, because they were gonna
Yeah,
open
I
up
saw
as
that.
a Thanksgiving. Yeah, we were gonna be one of the openers. Like I think we were gonna go first, and it was gonna be kudzu, and then it was going to be who was the
Automatic.
Automatic. Yeah, they're from like L.A. and like. Three-piece girl band, like three-piece girl from LA, like that's badass. Like we wanted to play
Yeah, I
it so
saw that.
badly, but it just.
Do you think? How did y'all end up getting those sorts of like opportunities?
It was
It was random.
luck. It was
That
like
was so
random, like
cool.
It's
like
more like connections.
like connect like
Yeah.
social like networking stuff. Honestly, like I have to give props to like Anna because she knew Johan because like she. I don't know what she would do in
I don't
Springfield
know
up
how
there.
she-
I don't even know.
how she
She was following him, and then she posted this on her story. And like funny stories, like we had said that no girls could come to like our band practices, but then Andalyn showed up one day. We're like, okay, we'll let her slide. And then she posted a picture of us, and then Johan saw that. He's like, yo, I need somebody to open up for Pink Mexico. And then the thing was like they had two other openers, and they all canceled like last minute. So we were like the only one, like we were like the only opener there, and like it was Pink Mexico. We got to talk to them, and like. That we realized how hard, you know, trying to make it because they were like really good and they were still struggling like with like, you know, trying to like go from like town to town. And they talked like some nights like we would play in front of like nobody and like that's a like big reality check for me because like they're really good. They're signed, I mean, to like an indie like label and stuff, but like and they're from Brooklyn, which is like if you're in Brooklyn, you're coming to play in Springfield.
Yeah,
Then
exactly.
like there has to be a reason why. And it's still, I mean, it's a tough industry. It definitely. That's why
Yeah.
like for me, like I don't try to think about like making it big because I mean I'm just
Yeah.
like I just want to. Like have fun, you know, just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
play shows. I mean, my making it big is like throwing a party and having like 50 people show up, and like cute girls showing up to like the music, like the girls that listen like 96.5 and stuff like that. If they show up to your party, like your punk show party, and they're having fun, then like you at least did something. Because you know, like the Tumblr Visco girls that, like would never listen to, like any of the stuff that we're playing, but they just show up. And like there has to be a reason why, you know. But it's also because like there's nothing else really.
I think I think that's part of it. I do think that I don't know. I do think kind of like DIY punk and stuff like that has become more popular than it was like back in the day. I think. But yeah. I guess I'm gonna say this. What is it like coming from? How does like being from Branson like affect your like music and like basically like I guess your attitude about music? I guess.
Did Branson like influence it in any way, or it's just like it's just where it's
I mean, to start off, like when we tried advertising for our band, we went and like made little flyers. Like it was, I mean, one of them said it was like, "Come spend 15 minutes in heaven on Easter with pretty ugly at the Outland Ballroom." We made like 5 different designs. Like I spent like 3 hours at the end of school. They didn't do any of my homework and was just like doing those flyers. And then we went to Milo's like mom's work and we got them printed off on like different paper. And then the next day we were like posting them around school. And then we
This
got
is,
like
VHS approved.
we put like the we
Are you
we
serious?
went ahead and because we knew you needed to have the stamp on it, so we went ahead and like wrote that in, and just like in between like power time and stuff, we started posting it around, and then I don't know like how Harris found out, but like he found out and stuff, and then like he got onto Milo first.
Yeah, I was walking with like someone, and they were like, "Oh, we're putting these up." It was just like one of our friends. He wanted to go to the show, and so he was like, walking along with me, and we were just sticking them everywhere, just as fast as we can, like during lunch or something. And
Yeah, it was during pirate time because
I
it
had,
was before
like,
lunch.
I had a handful of them. I turned the corner and like bump into Mr. Harris. Just like the classic like scene, like you bump into the principal and he's like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "I want to see these down in 5 minutes." He's like, "You guys are trying to solicit," and like we weren't even like asking people for money.
No, like,
Oh, no.
we're like, "Hey, like this is how much the tickets are." It's not like give us the money.
No, yeah, it's like just pull up, like it's
Yeah.
on Easter. Like it was on that Friday,
Yeah.
and then I was up in the library during that moment because I had like first lunch or something, and I come down and like he's looking for me, and he's like,
Oh, no.
"Amanda, did you make this?" And it was like the 15 minutes in heaven stuff, like Branson, like using some sort of like religious thing and it's putting your own like sexual innuendo, and then I'm like, that doesn't really fly well. And he's like, okay, like I respect what you guys are like. This is really cool and stuff, but like you guys are playing at a bar. Like, I can't have that like at the school. He's
Mr.
like,
Harris is really
no,
cool,
he was
though. He
really
is.
chill about it. And like towards the end of the school year, he was like, we would like joke around about that. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have Milo post those next year, since I'm gonna have to graduate. And he laughed like really hard. And then at the end of school day, we just handed them out because we still had like a ton. We're like, we're not gonna let these go to waste.
Yeah, you
so
get
we
it.
started like handing them out to anybody that we could see like leaving the school and
Yeah,
stuff.
my
And like,
backpack was just like there was a stash of them.
and hell yeah, but like different little designs. So definitely that's one of the obstacle courses because like. I know if like we were like in California or something, like you could advertise like a show or something, like to just post stuff around the school without like administrators just, or you wouldn't even need that because there would already be a music scene there. They would know that there'd be a show playing. But definitely when it comes to like songwriting, I mean, Branson, I mean, I write a lot about like what I do is just like you just like drive around with friends, you try to go to a party, you try to meet a girl, or like you try to go with the girl, and that's basically what Branson is like. Going through Branson's like trying to find like is there a kickback, like what's going on for tonight, or are you just gonna drive around in circles, stuff like that. So that's the influence
so
I got.
true,
That's
though.
the kind of influence that I got, but nothing like, I mean, just
I don't know, like
Not a Branson sound.
no, yeah.
well,
no.
I mean, I guess maybe what I was saying is like it's like the culture of like it being sort of like religious and restrictive, something that kind of
Definitely,
influences
yeah,
you
'cause
to
we-
like make your
That
sound what it
influences
is.
High school a lot too, because I feel like everyone here wants, they want like there to be a band. Like deep down, like they don't really like realize it, but once they saw that it was happening, they're like,
Yeah, because like
"Oh,
after
this
we
is you."
started, I mean, this other band started up like Six Sad Girls, and they were like really into it, and they broke up, and then Maggie Ristopher and like her like friend, they do like uke covers, and I personally like I fuck with it. I want to say like, was there a band? I mean, there was one band that did a talent show like the year before we started, and we attended. And we're like, okay, we want to start that too, but I think they broke up soon after. So I want to say like we were like the out of our class, like there's 4 years because I can't remember any other band. Like I don't know, unless was there one in your grade 2016?
I thought maybe there maybe was one band, but I cannot remember who would have been in it. I can't really think of any like punk bands. Or
No,
anything
yeah. So like
that,
the most, I mean,
really.
most of them is just like, I mean, most of the things that I've encountered have been just like girls just posting on like YouTube or Instagram, just them singing and stuff like that.
Honestly,
That's most
there's
of
a
the,
lot of rap though coming out of Branson.
Actually, most like recently, and
Which is kind of weird. Like I haven't really like encountered very many bands, but like rap was like for like most of my friends and peers was big. And I don't know, that's kind of odd how like punk and rap were like the two
most
two
definitely.
things that kind of like resonate.
Oh, yeah, so like, so I want to say like, okay, we'll say like we were like the first like surf punk band like from like that as far as I know that wanted to do like
Yeah, I'm
DIY
pretty
type
sure.
stuff. Yeah, because like first we're like in the middle of Missouri, like there's no like surfy type stuff about Branson.
No, there
isn't. Not at all.
Yeah, how does that come about?
Just
Yeah,
just
we
the
were
music, just the
curious.
music that we like. I think it was just like that kind of sound, and just like the reverb and like I just like simple short songs about I don't know just. I mean, we can't write about surfing. Just about, I can't.
Yeah, you
surf.
can't.
I mean, maybe going on a tube on Tibble Rock Lake, but like, who's gonna listen to that? Like honestly. No, but no, I feel like just like the whole. I don't know, like starting this whole thing is really like. I talk to more people, and like they say, yeah, I want to start those. Like, then just start it. Like, that's all you need. You just need friends that you trust. Like, you just need like instruments and like somewhere to practice. And you just need friends that are, like just start for fun and stuff. And like we've had like more bands come in, which I think is really cool and stuff. Because maybe like later on, like people will catch on. Like, oh, this could be something that you can do for fun. Like, just keep it going. And maybe collide like Branson and maybe they can start going to Springfield, or maybe have our own little individual scene. Because right now I don't know what Branson's even known for. I mean, besides Silver Dollar City and like the attractions and stuff. Like there's so many theaters, but we would never be able to play any of the theaters. Like quite frankly, like they maybe a couple dying theaters like made for one night we'd be able to play one night. But like,
really, did you actually ever get a band at a theater? I actually
no, I wish that would be like a dream, but it's hard to get like shows to play here because like
I don't know who would show up. Just like senior citizens, like out in the crowd, like sitting down.
They might like it.
Yeah, no, most definitely. I mean, something new, but
I think at like this point, like anything, like any opportunity is like totally unexpected for us. So that kind of like pushes us. It's like every chance we get. Like, we never would have thought we played at the Outland Ballroom, but then that happened. We're like, okay, let's start recording in the studio.
We had a chance to record
in our guitarist, like his dad had a studio, so we're like, perfect. All right, we'll just go in there, and we recorded, put it on, and then everything just kept going, and we did house shows, and we just never really expected.
And then we had like a house show March 13th, which was like came out like there was all the priests had to be like lined up because the reason why Gavin and Jameson, it was at Jameson's house. The reason why they came down was because St. Patty's got canceled. So they were like, wasn't that the reason? They're like, let's do something in Branson. And Jameson's like, my parents are on a cruise right now. Let's just throw it at my house. We're like, okay. And I wasn't going to come down at all because I'd already been in Branson the weekend before. But then classes got canceled Thursday and Friday because of the corona stuff. And I was like, this is a perfect shot. Let's do something. And then the 20th, everything shut down. So like the 13th was like the last chance we were able to like play live and stuff. And like we like just advertised like 2 days before and we're like, house party. We didn't release like the address like the day of because like we can't have it getting busted too early, you know. And like it was literally in the middle of like a like pretty solid like suburban little neighborhood, like houses right next to each other. And we were just jamming out.
One car can fit through like the road.
No, because we told people like don't park. Like we had to have people park at different places because like if everybody parked it, like nobody would drive through. And that's when people would get like upset. But definitely that's personally been like my favorite show. I mean, a lot of our friends showed up. People that we didn't expect were gonna show up showed up.
Yeah,
and
they
like
loved it. I mean, there were so many people that were like, "Oh, like, we love your band. Like, when are you gonna play next?"
And we're like,
hit us up
well, we don't know. So like right now we're
what's
like,
your address? You know,
like
basement.
yeah, like we're just trying to like you know.
It was kind of like different like little groups that were there.
Yeah, like all the worlds collide. Like Hollister, like
and I feel like they all had a kick-ass time, which was like
because like people like you know like if you're not there for the music, you're there for the experience. Because like I feel
exactly.
playing a show, it's not only about playing well, it's about like being a performer, like being able to because you just can't stand there, you know, like you know what is there like you need something to like you know get the people.
How would you guys describe your house shows? Like what sets you apart?
Okay. One thing I will say is like very stressful because we care a lot. Like we just don't want to like. There's a lot of cleaning and planning. Like think about like a business. So, like I don't want to like just like I don't want people to show up there and be like, oh, they don't care because like they obviously like they just have like a little like cooler full of like natty lights, everything's dirty, and like they're just being dicks, you know. Like all like we were like I don't want that. Like we put like it was like Hawaiian themed. So like I went to like the party store and I got like this like 6 foot tall like hula girl.
That's right.
We got
saw
a little
that.
backdrop like we could play on. We had like little lights that like would change each time like the bass would play and stuff like that. We had like a playlist made for it. We made sure that like whoever showed up, we like talked to them, like made them sure like you know like we're just trying to have a good time stuff. Like definitely that's like what like our house like very intimate because ultimately like we don't want to be like oh like we're like the band playing so like don't touch us, don't talk like stuff like that. Because I mean I don't want that because like at the end like we know all of them so they'd be like why would they want to come see us again? We just acted different just because we got to play in somebody's living room, you know. So I would say it's extremely DIY, stressful. But ultimately, I feel like very intimate because I mean we put a lot of time and effort and money into it. Because one thing we don't charge people to come to the house shows. Like, we never I've never thought about charge because like we're just still small enough like you know just do it because we want to do it right now. You know, don't do it to like any sort of profit. You know, because my profit comes from like having fun and stuff and having people show up. That especially people that you wouldn't expect to show up. I mean, we had people from Hollister come and like you know if Branson doesn't have a music scene. Hollister has even less of one, you know. It just goes from there, and then I mean, I had, like just like the different like cliques in school that you would never expect to be there, just to all show up at somebody's house that you know.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think because music brings people together no matter what. You could be playing cans, you know, in the living room. And people, as long as you advertise them, as long as you have people there, like you're
like,
good.
yeah, we'll see it.
They'll see it because people like being around people and people like that adrenaline rush and stuff. And you know, I mean,
I think it's cool how we like turned like. it was almost like a house party, but at the same time it was turned into like a venue almost, because like we got there early.
Yeah,
and
we
set all
we
up.
arranged the living room to like
couches.
maximize the amount of like space and like make sure that nobody was excluded or anything like that. We had like games and stuff going on. We tried to talk to people, just have fun and stuff, and like we had like all of our equipment there. And as soon as it finished, we had like pack everything up so nobody would like break it, you know, because you can't trust people when they're drinking and
we like
expensive.
moving everything in the rain and trying to get it back in my little Nissan Versa.
Oh yeah, we had
a full drum set, all the amps and guitars just crammed in. I could barely even like sit down in the driver's seat without someone poking me outside. But it worked. I mean, my house was so close to it, so
Yeah, it
just
was like 5
unloaded
minutes,
and then
yeah.
came back and enjoyed the rest of the night. But it was pretty fun.
So like, this is kind of unrelated, but well, I guess it maybe is related, but not really. I'm just kind of curious, like, what's like the process in terms of like writing your songs and everything
That
like
was a
that?
nice question.
Okay,
okay.
Oh, that was your
yeah,
next
we're
question too.
good.
Okay.
I feel like that. So the way that we write, I mean, we do like little demos individually, and then we started doing like the SoundCloud thing too. We just the SoundCloud thing was more for us that we could listen to what we were doing over quarantine because we couldn't see each other.
Yeah.
But I mean, the song process is like I usually do it on my uke. I do like some chord progressions or something. I write a couple lyrics down and then I record it. And then I put it on GarageBand, and then I just save it on my computer and stuff. And I just keep going and stuff. And then I come to like the practice and just share it. And we're like, okay, let's play it around, let's fiddle around with it. And if we like it, we keep it. And if we don't, like, we'll just try something else. That's the way that I go about like my songwriting. I don't know. I mean, I usually go with like chord structures first, and then I add lyrics to it. Because for me, it's very abstract to write something, then put some sort of like melody to it. Doesn't
So
click
there's
in
not
my
like
brain.
one person for like each song. You all
No, I mean, it's a collective like kind of thing. Because I mean, definitely, I mean, Jacob and I have written like the majority of the songs, but Milo always comes in and he adds some sort of like bass line or some sort of like guitar chord progression because he plays guitar as well, and then we all piece it together like that. I mean, you've been doing it a lot more now, or like he goes on the uke and tries like a little bass tab and stuff. So like the whole collective act of like writing a song starts off with like one idea, we share it, and then we play with it, fiddle it around, and we're like, if we're not feeling it, we scrap it, we just try something else. But we always try to like do it together ultimately. That way because I don't want to be playing something that I don't like. And if we all work on it together, then we all will like an aspect out of it. So
It's nice like how you make like the chords and you'll send them to Jacob and he kind of like makes his own riffs.
yeah,
and
because
stuff out of it, and he
Jacob can
sends
play
me
the
that.
guitar or like the electric. So I just send him the uke sample and like the chords. And then he's like, okay, let me fiddle around with it. And if he wants to do something different, he'll show it to me. He'll send it back. Okay, I take that. But definitely, Jacob is the one that can do like the more like the more abstract lyrical writing. Because mine's very straightforward. Mine's just like wake up, go see a girl, get in the car, go to a party, get back, be heartbroken, and that's it. Like I mean, because I already do it. Because I like to read and stuff and like do all that, like the symbolism and stuff. But I don't like to write about it. I'm like, it's too abstract. I just want to be point, like as punk as it gets, just straight to the point type stuff. You know, like I've done enough analyzing I can through college, like literature and stuff like that. So I'm like, I'm gonna keep it basic.
I don't know if you guys listen.
It's good that you're honest.
Modern baseball.
No, yeah. But no, Jacob. I mean,
Put a lot of thought into one of our newest songs, Fish Salad.
Fish salad. No, fish salad. That was fish salad. That was
A lot of
really
thought to
deep.
fish
yeah,
salad.
like it's super deep. Like
Yeah.
it talks about like a lot of like what's going on in the world right now. You know. No, fish salad was like we made it like 10 minutes.
Yeah,
No,
because they
probably
were
less
they
than
were
that,
they
bro.
were ar- they were
Probably 2
arguing
minutes.
they were arguing about what kind of song we should make, and I walked in and they're like, "What the fuck are you eating?" I'm like, "Oh, I made a fish salad." And then they just kind of like went off of that.
No, yeah. So we have songs like that, and then we have songs like Misty, which I wrote, which is about this first grade teacher that I'm in love with. So I wrote a song about her, like when I was a
Is that the one
senior.
where you were sucking on her titties?
Wait, what?
Oh my god.
We listened to your playlist of songs before, like prepare. One of them was like sucking on her titties, and eating on her ass because
Oh,
I'm not gay.
that was the like the explicit version. That was the first rough draft. That was
You posted that?
yeah, like the 20 seconds
Me,
of it. Like
me
that's
and
what it said
Mitchell were laughing
explicit.
I'm
for
like, what?
so long.
No, like literally, that's how it started because it was March 30th and our show was like 3 weeks away. So like we need like original stuff. So I just got on the uke and I started fiddling around, and then he had his bass. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna write about Misty, and I was like, okay, make this rhyme, and then got very sexual and stuff. But with like the version that we actually play live, it's like very like kind of like
It's
school
toned down.
elementary like I envision myself being like a first grader in a classroom when writing this song. Like that's what. So like not very like
Very
like
different dynamic.
yeah, very different image.
If you're a first grader, something on your teacher's table.
No, no, that wasn't the version. That was me, like the 18-year-old me. Like
That's
the new version
18-year-old
is like
me,
the
yeah.
6, 7-year-old having a crush on their teacher,
Yeah.
you know. But then like we have like deeper songs as well about. I mean, as deep as like surf punk, like,
Yeah.
that we write about. But definitely, I mean, we're gonna be. I mean, Jeg's gonna be performing it like when we do it. But like definitely like Ride the Tide. That one's. I mean, it's deep and stuff, and it's definitely. I mean, he can talk more about it before he plays it. But we go from Fish Salad, which is what was it? What was that song even about?
Booze and fish salad.
Booze and fish salad. Just wanted to drink and eat a fish
It's
salad.
like a shower.
Oh,
Yeah, it's yeah.
The shower.
And then
I
we have
just
Misty,
love
which
I
is
love
like-
that title, fish salad. Let me
we
just
played
say
it
that.
live. We're like, this is called fish
People
salad.
loved it.
No, yeah, it's super simple. It's like maybe 3 lines. Exactly. Like I don't even think we have that on the SoundCloud like EPs and stuff like that. Like
You
that.
really should. I really want to hear it.
No, we'll definitely play it live again.
Change that last lyric because that might be a little bit too.
Who cares? No, but we definitely like. I mean, our songs range from. I mean, we wrote one called like "Last Day of School," which was about our last day of school when I like had like senior year, like graduating and stuff. Like do what we wanted to do, which was like go out and skate, hang out with friends, and then go to a party because like that's
Yeah.
like a perfect day is like hang out with friends, skating, and then going and like going to a party and then having fun and stuff. But then we changed it up to like deeper, more things about like more like coming like adolescence of figuring out what you're gonna do with your life.
Yeah.
Because in the end, like after you go and like you skate, you drink, you party. At the end of the day, you're just kind of sitting there thinking like, is this what I'm going to do with the rest of my life?
Yeah,
Should there be
exactly.
something more to it? Like what is like, what is it?
Yeah.
So our songs go from like that, like just like it's just our impulsive thoughts that we think about.
Yeah,
Like
kind of like that feeling you get after Project Grad and all that. If you even go to Project Grad, or if you even go to like some sort of like get together or whatever
like
afterwards.
prom, like your last prom.
Yeah,
like,
your
you're just
last
driving
prom or
around,
whatever. Like
graduation, the drive back after graduation, like after Project everything like that.
that
Always
is-
feels weird.
that did
Like,
feel weird. Yeah,
that's always a really like you guys are gonna feel it like when you guys are like driving out and you're like this is
We're
gonna be
leaving
like
high school, like after sleeping on a bounce house. 'Cause
Project Grad.
Yeah, it's gonna be at the high school now, and there's gonna be bounce houses.
Oh my!
All
So
that,
literally,
all that fun stuff, you know.
you know, you're gonna be driving back and,
Candy and ice cream in a cup and like all that. So.
and like wearing your face mask and
Yeah.
stuff.
It's like field day. Maybe.
Yeah,
Field
so
day.
it's
No, it'll be
field
a
day.
field day. Yeah. But no, yeah, that's basically our little song writing thing. I mean,
You guys have favorite songs each? Like like to play or something?
That's a good question.
Playing live, my personal favorite one playing live. I need it.
Shit.
I need it. I need it. Which is we that one isn't on SoundCloud either, but I need is one of my favorite. It's one of, like the faster ones, and like my personal one. I like doing Misty. Like no, I don't like doing Misty. Not like that. Like I like playing Misty live, just because like I get to like because I'm in the drum kit and like
24/7.
I'm like in the drum kit like you're kind of like in the back and stuff. So like, but I like being out in the crowd and stuff. That's when I like. I mean, I'm known for like stripping at shows and stuff because I'm like if you're I take after a lot of like I love the Black Lips, which are like this punk band from Georgia, and like when they started off, they said we were really bad, like super bad at like playing. We couldn't play our instruments, but they're like, but we knew how to throw a show. So what they would do is like they would like light firecrackers when they're performing, like just like throw them at each other and they like get burnt or like they like pee all over each other, stuff like that. Because like if they're not gonna remember you for your music, they're gonna remember you for
the
what you
performance.
did. So,
Yeah,
like,
what you
either one
did.
of the two. So like you either have to be really well, or you have to know how to put on a show, and then people are gonna start coming to it. And like so I'm like that's my personal favorite one, just because like a lot of memories. I mean that one was the one that like I hold deeply, just because it came out of the blue. We wrote it like in 15, 20
Should've
minutes.
never told them about Misty.
And Misty's actually like Jaden's mom, and Jaden's like one of like my best friends. Like, and she knows how much I love her mother. Like, I come over all the time, like, yo, Misty, when are you gonna fall in love with me? Like, I'm being serious.
Sexual version?
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not.
But I think she gets
Hopefully not.
I think she gets the feel. But you can go on, Jacob. Your favorite song to play live?
I don't really have a favorite song. I just like to play like the faster shit because like every show we usually do like at least a cover, like one cover.
Yeah.
And usually we pick something pretty hard for that cover. And like last show we played
Am I saying? We did much thing as a cover.
Jet
Punk,
Punch at
yeah,
Big.
that one was really fun. By a cover by Fiddler, and that one's one of my favorite ones as well. It's just like it's so much fun. It's like so fun to play and stuff because we improvise in the middle and stuff and try to like figure it out.
That's cool.
But you mind? Which is your favorite song?
Mine's Jet Punk, Jet Bitch. Even though it kills my
Yeah.
fingers, I'm still slow at playing the bass. So like we played that last because by the end of the song, my fingers were literally like sticking out, and I couldn't even like play because they were so cramped out.
And I think it was just like we liked playing that song. Like we only played it like once, but like I feel like that was like the hypest the crowd has ever been.
Yeah,
like the girls were just like screaming in my face and shit. It's just like it just feels good. I don't know.
Feels good. It's a good rush. Are you, Gavin?
My favorite to watch you guys play is Submarines.
Submarine. Oh, yeah.
You guys
So-
hate that song now.
Oh, now we hate it just because we did it so many times. That was like the first song we ever learned how to play together. It was Submarines by the Frights. But we played it at every single show except for the last one, right?
We practiced it like
We-
20 times
yeah.
for practice.
Yeah, that would be our warm up, and then like
Yeah.
our post workout stuff, and then like I still love it and stuff, but I just like we did it so many times that I just burnt myself out of it. I'm like, but
When you guys start playing it, then the mosh pit forms.
The mosh pit.
no, yeah, but I always remember like at the last house show, like that one was been my first because like we were playing and I looked up and I saw like girls like on guys' like shoulders just like jamming out with like a White Claw in their hand. I'm like, bro, that's all you need right now, like, honestly. And then like I saw like the videos after the show and stuff, and like girls like were most of the girls like, and they were like the cute girls too, you know. So like their video, and they thought that was really cool, and they all split up, and they're like, that was really cool. Like I still have people like message me like, hey, when's the next show? I'm like, we're talking about it right now because we're definitely gonna try and do something before
Yeah.
we go back to college, like somewhere or another. We're thinking like July because so far Branson's still having prom. And I'm thinking like, well, if Branson's having prom, then people will show up to a house show, you know, like, because prom is going to be like 3 times as big as this house show, you know, so like,
Yeah.
you know, at that point, like the safety precautions, like, because we've been keeping up with like the corona and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that's why we canceled like a lot of stuff and why we wouldn't hang out and stuff. Just like, well, we don't want to get it stuff, but they're opening stuff back up. I mean, I serve at Cantina Laredo. I'm as exposed as you can get, like working in a tourist town from like people from all over the states. I'm like, well, you know, at this point, like, what do I have to lose? You know,
The nice thing about Branson is that we're a little bit more isolated.
No,
from
yeah,
all
for
of it.
sure. Yeah, like from like especially from like the big like the coast and stuff because nobody
Yeah.
from like California really comes. I mean,
Yeah.
not that I know. It's usually like Oklahoma, Arkansas, and this area.
Yeah,
so-
we've had cases, but it's not been.
No, it hasn't been too bad.
Yeah.
But we're definitely. I mean, we're gonna have it like June, late June and stuff. But then like stuff came up like, well, it'd be better if we did like the week before prom because like I think the way Branson's doing is like they're gonna have one final week of like senior stuff to do. So if we do it like each
During
day
the
of
summer?
during the summer, like last
Wow.
week of
End
July.
of July.
Yeah.
Didn't even know
The
that. Wow.
1st of August is gonna be graduation. And
Yeah, like
prom's
in the
gonna be
morning.
like
The 31st,
Yeah.
July 31st on a Wednesday. So it's like.
Graduation's at 9 in the morning. So yeah, it's August 1st at 9 in the morning.
Gonna graduate and go have lunch.
Yeah, you're gonna graduate and go to fucking IHOP.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you got all the questions down.
Yeah, I
You
think
guys
that's
wanna
pretty
say
much
what you're
everything.
playing?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
How many songs you guys gonna play?
I mean, Jacob's gonna play his. I'll do Misty, and then we'll figure something out at the end. I guess like something off the top of our head.
I mean, we'll cut this out and then we'll like start over.
Oh, yeah,
set
for
it
sure.
up for you guys, but again, thank you for like.
No
talking
problem.
with
Thanks
us.
for
Yeah,
interviewing us.
sure.
I really like doing this. The exposure, like this is really cool.